was living in a bedroom community in Renton. Very nice, and I was stay-at-home mom, and things were going about as normal and raising my children, 3 of them. We had to downsize, and downsize meaning moving out of your home. We didn't have the time period where we could sell the home, so basically we lost everything.
So I've been here 6 years, and up until a year ago I was renting. I was doing everything from what it seemed to make the right choices. It was just housing out here was just so expensive, and working for a nonprofit, how could I begin to afford it? If I'm gonna own a home, it's gonna be not here, that much I know.
I and my 3 kids lived in a house in Skyway, which is in the South Seattle area. It was a nice house, it was a decent neighborhood, but there was issues. They didn't really want to fix things. It just made me frustrated because I think that just because you're a renter, or just because you're on housing, or you get help, doesn't mean you don't deserve to have a good place to live.
Home ownership was always important. I grew up with the value of owning your own home. My dad, he was a plumber, grew up in the Depression time, and he always stressed owning your own home, having your own land was very important. And after my divorce, I didn't think I ever would have that opportunity again to own my home. And that was very sad for me, coming from my environment and my upbringing and the value of what home ownership meant.
I was just looking online at different housing programs, and I found Homestead. I still didn't think it would be possible, but I called, and I came in and set up a meeting and got information, and that is when my journey started.
So I got online and I hurried up and put my application in, and within 3 days, Garbo called me. And I was like, oh my gosh, she said, you qualify. What? What do I do next? When can I move?
I hadn't heard of Homestead, so I just, started Googling, found it, and sure enough, just several blocks from where I was renting were the Columbia 26 units. That's a really cool thing that they're doing, and I think I might qualify. I might be able to do this. So it was a lot of excitement.
Garbo contacted me, and she said, I think there's a house you might like, and I came by, and I liked that it was close to transit because my kids take the bus to school. It had a yard, front yard, and a backyard because we have dogs. But really, everybody having their own bedroom and space, and I saw that this could be some place that my kids would be proud to bring their friends.
I'll never forget the day Garbo called me and she said, Linda, she said, I think I found what you wanted. And she said, go look at it. So my children, we all came here on a Saturday, and then we walked around and we sat on the deck and we said, this feels like us. And I fell in love with it.
It's really important what Homestead is doing and how their model is for when you buy a house. You don't just get a bunch of money and sell it for 3 times the going rate like the rest of the houses. It's got to be passed back on to someone else so they can live their dream.
To give another family that opportunity to be able to live in a home and have that joy, I feel it's a great thing, and that's part of my legacy too.
Homestead is a solution out there. You hear about all these problems, and it's not often that you hear about a solution, and it's a great one. It's not a hand out by any means. I don't know, it's a hand up, right? It's just saying this is something that we want to be possible. We want to have dedicated citizens living in Seattle.
I think that I am really lucky that I got in with Homestead when I did. That's just the reality. There's way more people who cannot afford housing in Seattle than there are affordable housing units. For someone who's, limited income, single family, even married, any family situation, to know that your dream of wanting to buy a house can't come true must be devastating.
They're not affordable to people with families, and they can't get in them, and I think that's sad because that's what makes the neighborhood.
Homestead, again, makes home ownership. It's going to only help strengthen the city. It's going to only help strengthen neighborhoods to have that diversity of people in there. I feel like I'm part of solving the affordability crisis in Seattle, and that's a really cool thing. Being a homeowner has been an amazing experience. I'm so excited for the future. It's so great, the increased financial stability and footing that this has given me. I think has opened up a lot of things where I've kind of thought, I've got this going, now it's time to look and see how I can push myself to the next big thing. So I'm actually going to be starting grad school in June, going into a leadership management program, and it's all possible due to Homestead.
Without Homestead, I would have never been able to have a home. Even my daughter, she saw how you can pull yourself up and you go do what you have to do. And she said, Mom, I'm really proud of you. And sometimes I go in my room and I'm like, whew, I'm proud of myself because it was hard work. The experience of owning my home again has been very exhilarating, empowering, and being empowered by not only being a woman, to be able to do this financially. I thank Homestead.
Having my own home means the world to me. I never thought I would be able to be someone who could say, I own my own house. It means so much to me that my kids have a safe neighborhood to live in, a nice home to grow up in that they're proud of and that I'm proud of, and none of this would have been able to happen without Homestead.